Poverty fighter means to me rolling up my sleeves, getting busy and working alongside of other people in this community to address a huge community issue and to begin to move the needle on that same issue in ways that I think increase the quality of life for everyone and create a sustainable model for our community for many, many years to come.
Well, it could be a lot of different things. I don't think I have one single idea of what a poverty fighter looks like. Poverty fighter could be a teacher. Poverty fighter could be a coach. Poverty fighter could be anybody who inspires a kid to kind of overcome his or her circumstances. I mean, we see kids, I wouldn't say all the time, but we see kids a lot that overcome some really horrific circumstances in their lives. And I don't think we think enough about how remarkable that is, because it's really hard to do. I mean, you think about your own life, you know, as growing up in my case. You know, I had some hard times too, and overcoming them took a lot of help. Some of these kids are overcoming these things on their own, and it's really remarkable. So those guys that need to be celebrated. Those are poverty fighters too. So I think you have a little bit of a mix of poverty fighters. You know, you have the people that are trying to consciously solve it, people that are unconsciously trying to solve it, and people that are in it themselves and are trying to solve it on their own.
I was brought up in poverty. I lived in a public housing project in New York. All my friends lived in private homes. I was the last person to get off the bus at night. And I had a long walk, and I lived in a neighborhood, in an area of the neighborhood that was not very safe. So it was pretty scary for me. So I, as a poverty fighter, I want to remove that fear. I don't want any child to be fearful of where is my next meal coming from? Why are mommy and daddy fighting over money all the time? That's what I want for our community, and that's why I continue to fight.
Poverty fighter to me is understanding that you're a part of a fight that's bigger than you. It's going to take some work. You're going to have to probably get a little dirty, roll up your sleeves, get a little sweaty sometimes. It's not an easy fight, but as long as you're willing to be selfless and understand that you're just part of a bigger picture, then I think you're ready to get into the fight.
I think to me, poverty fighter is someone who takes seriously what it really means to be in poverty, what it feels like, the effect that it has on you. And those are people who don't typically find their voices. And so in order for them to find their voice, other people have to be willing to help speak. And I think that's what poverty fighter is. It's someone who listens well enough to understand the real issues and then takes up that fight with and on behalf of people who are struggling.
Well, I think that from someone who hasn't heard Seth Johnson's talk about poverty fighters, what it means is that, again, this is an issue that we have for folks that live in central Iowa that we're all responsible to solve, or at least to address. And that understanding that it is a community problem and not an individual's problem, or even a specific group of individuals' problem, that it is a problem and a concern that we are all responsible to address. Otherwise, the quality of life for all of us suffers, not just the folks who happen to live the issue from day to day.
Poverty fighter means, to me, finding ways that we can change policies and practices so that people are not forced into poverty when they have ways that they can contribute to the community and also earn a living at that.
Poverty fighter means that no matter where you are in your place in society, you're going to help with the problem. It could be with education, helping children get educated, helping parents. It could be with your career and making sure that you're looking for ways to help people maybe achieve better incomes. But whatever you can do, that's what we're looking for, I know, and a lot of people are excited about that.
I really genuinely believe that people have the ability to grow and to do amazing things on their own. It's really clearing out the barriers so that they can thrive and be the people that they could be in their lives.
You need people like that to encourage you at times, you know, and man, it's a remarkable thing what they're doing, man, you know, and it just means that people care, you know, and it's a great feeling to know that people who are out here who have achieved already took the time to step back and say, you know, these people aren't so bad, you know, these people need another chance, and you know, to give us that chance, it's like, you know, you got to take off, and that's why, you know, I hit the ground running, man. You know, I was interviews, I was job searching, I was doing everything I could until I landed, and I'm still not done, you know.
Oh gosh, it's a great term, and there's so many people in so many different realms that are doing that. I think in reality, so many of us, the majority of us, are just a paycheck or two away from poverty ourselves, whether we realize it or not. We see with natural disasters that happen, we see with layoffs that happen, with plant closings, how tenuous things are for us. And so knowing that there's people out there at the food banks, at the clothing banks, at shelters that are helping people that through no fault of their own have found themselves in these circumstances where they need help. And asking for help isn't, and accepting help isn't anything that we should stigmatize, because we are all so close to needing it, and probably have needed it at some point in our life, but through lack of awareness or pride or shame of asking, we didn't ask of it. And when we as a community rally together to support everybody in that community, then it provides a safety net for everybody.
Poverty fighters to me is, you know, just those people who are willing to try to fight every day to make a difference, to make a better world.
I honestly did not understand how many hungry people there were just here in the state of Iowa. And that's been huge to me as I've been going around and meeting with others, and you know, touring food pantries and talking to others that are helping to fight hunger and fight poverty in our state. I honestly did not even understand the magnitude of all of the programs and what we are accomplishing with them. So that's what it means to me, is not only fighting hunger and fighting poverty, but education too for our families. That's huge to me. Adding that component into our programs, not just feeding them, but educating them in the same time, I think is the best way to fight poverty.
I'm the original poverty fighter. Pull my resume out, Google me. Google me right now. I was doing this when I was a young man. I'm 67 years old. I started doing this when I came out of Drake. I came out of Drake in 1974, working for government programs, dealing with poverty. Been there, done that. I'm glad United Way has made poverty an okay word again, because in the earlier days, people ran away from that word. I've been a poverty fighter from day one.